Hello everyone, and welcome to our next video. So just to briefly summarize what we did in the past. So in the previous video we implemented the validation for the password input. We wrote a couple of tests to ensure that each specific aspect of the password is correctly implemented, and we added the checks here for our signup router, right? So before we move on to any additional functionality, or before we mark this task here from the Jira board as done, what I would like to do is to implement this missing task here at the top, right? Should return a 405 for non-post requests to the signup route. So if we come to the HTTP request methods, we know that there are a couple of methods that we normally use. So get, post, delete, options maybe. The interesting thing that we want to implement here is that for get requests, for put requests, for delete requests, and for patch requests, we want to return a 405, right? So I think I already implemented. No, I did not. Good. So if we want to return a 405, let's then write a small block of code, right? Also group these together under a describe, and this is going to test. Let me just test. It's going to test the signup route method availability, right? So here I know that the first one that I want is to have a should return a 405 for non-post requests to the signup route, and because I'm already writing signup route in the describe here, I don't need to add it here. So should return a 200 for post requests, right? And of course here I need to have a valid password and a valid email. So my password and my email, and then before all I want to have these populated with valid values. And my email can be test@test.com. Okay. Now I can send this request to post, right? If I have a valid email and a valid password, then I should expect a 200. No big deal here. And with async, let me start the watch jest. So just in the watch mode should pass everything. I didn't save the file yet. So this, by the way, this will also pass. So let's see. Okay, good. 12 tests are passing. Should return 405 for non-post request. So let's send a non-post request, and we should expect a 405. And this is going to be, well, let me mark this as async as well. And this is going to be a get request, right? Get request doesn't need to send anybody with it. So let's see. Oops, of course this fails because it sends not a 405 but a 404, right? So why does it send a 404? Well, the way that Express works is it comes to the router and then it looks for the method of the request, right? If I cannot find the get method, if the get method is not implemented, then this is going to return a 404. So all I have to do for this test to pass is signup router.get, and this is going to be my /API/auth/signup, and this is going to simply return. It gets the request, the response, and response.status 405.send with an empty body, right? And this should make my test pass. Exactly, my test passes. So now I'm not only interested about get, I'm also interested on input requests. And again, my test is going to fail, right? So I could simply come here and copy and paste and say put, and then my my test would pass. Yes, so let's give it a little, let's stop a little bit here. Of course, we are not gonna do that. There is a much better way of doing it, and is to use this catch-all wildcard provided by Express, which is going to, if the request doesn't match any of the methods specified above, then it's gonna fall under this .all wildcard, right? So here I can say, okay, for all the requests that are not a post request, then you will enter here, and then I can do some refactoring, and my code is much cleaner now, because for whatever request that is not a post request, I will simply return a 405. So I can also add the patch here, and I can also add the delete. Right, and all of this should pass. Now you see that this test is not really atomic, right? There is more than one method here, and I think here is okay. So going too much into detail, it would be just overkill for our purposes here. I think that we can use all of the interesting request methods for us and ensure that they all return with a 405. Good. Let me put some little comment here. Available, or maybe this would actually be, maybe I could, we'll see. So available methods in /API/auth/signup, that is going to be just post. Right, so maybe here I could also add some comment here, but it doesn't change much if I simply write them here. HTTP methods. Of course, we have other ones like head options and so on, but these ones are less standard for us to use in a API call. So I'll stick to the normal ones that we normally use. Good. There is another small thing that I want to do. Of course, you see that there is a lot of duplication. What if I change the signup route, right? What if I say, no, just sign up like this, and then I have to go everywhere, I have to change everywhere. So, of course, it's not scalable, right? So the first thing I'm going to do here is to export a const, which defines my signup route. And this is going to be the signup route, right? This route here, and then I can use the signup route everywhere. So it's always also going to be signup route, and now I can come to index, and I can also maybe now the linting is not going to complain, right? So now I can change a little bit here, because I will export everything from .signup, and then maybe this export default as signup router from signup. Right, I still have my default export here. Now of course I need to change my app, because now I don't have routes anymore. So now I can destructure this element here, signup router, and let's see, my tests should still be passing. Everything should be passing. Let's see if I did any mistake on the code, but no, apparently not. So before I continue with the refactoring, let me see if the linting is going to complain. Maybe some prettier issues that I didn't format. Let's see. No complaints. Of course, when I use more than one export, then it doesn't complain, right? If I have only one export per file, then it complains. But if I have more than one export, then it's fine for it. So what I want to do here is I want to import the signup route from signup, right? And that's fine. I could also use ... but so I could use just ... because I'm re-exporting the signup route, but for the sake of clarity, I mean, it doesn't really matter for us here, because now I can use my signup route in all of my tests. So maybe I actually do a something like this: API of signup, and I want to replace with signup route. And let's go one by one. Replace, just so that I ensure that everything is still works as expected. Right? Okay. Let's see. Now I just want to run the tests again and see that everything is passing. Very nice. So now I can rest assured that my signup route is well defined. The methods that I want to be implemented are well defined, and there is just one little thing that I want to remove, and is this errors in my body. Why is it so? It's because I still don't have tests for checking the response of my post request to the signup route. And I don't have tests because I still didn't work on standardizing the response. So I'm gonna work on that over the next couple of videos, maybe already starting in the next one. And then we'll start by writing the tests. And then we move to writing the code to parse the errors from my post request. Okay, but for now, I just wanted to do this little refactoring with you. Let me save it again. All the tests should pass. And now I will simply run the prettier command so that I make sure that everything is nicely formatted, and then I can commit everything. So this is going to be, let's say, a refactor. This is was the main. Implement 405 tests plus code refactoring. Okay, now it's gonna run my pre-commit hooks, and when they pass, I can directly push the code to the remote hippo. Yep, everything working fine. Git push, and the code is already available in the remote hippo. So in the next video, we will continue with how to actually handle the errors from validation result and how to send them in a standardized format to the user, right? This is very important because I'm going to have different microservices working behind the scenes, and I need to make sure that they all behave in a consistent way. If microservice 1 returns an error in format 1 and microservice 2 returns an error in format 2, then my client needs to know how to handle different error formats. And we don't want that. We want our responses to be standardized, and so all the responses, including the error responses, to be standardized. So we will start working on this in the next video. Until then, we will, I think that we have done a good work so far with the setup of the signup route. We can continue to a new functionality at the moment. Okay, thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.